they're not even going to be in the show today.
So here's Urs Urbacher and our most recent winner, Larry Dixon. Urbacher trying to run the whole season here in America.
You see the qualifying positions there. Larry only in the 7th spot. That's because yesterday, the last session, they tried to get after it a little bit and spun the tires. I don't expect to see that right here, though.
Big engine explosion there for Urbacher. Parts all over the place. The car is trying to get stopped. Parachutes are out. One of them, if not both of them, tattered. Larry Dixon, of course, takes the win with that one. And Urbacher starts to climb out of the cockpit.
Wow, now that was an explosion. Look at the car. I mean, it took out part of the wing, took out the tire. Urs did a great job keeping that thing in his lane. I'll tell you, that was a huge explosion. Now let's take another look at this, because I mean we could feel the concussion here in the trailer. We're quite a ways away from the action on the track. Watch the left side of your screen. You're going to see that thing starting to mix up the cylinders just a little bit, and then boom! I mean, lifts the car right off the ground. The tire comes apart. It takes out part of the wing. Luckily, most of the wing stayed on, and the chutes came out. Probably that new safety device, and when you have a big explosion, it automatically deploys the parachutes. That helped keep the thing straight. That was key in this explosion. But watch this one more time.
Boy, look at the back end jump off the ground with the explosion.
Yeah, when you can feel the concussion from here, I mean, that's a big boomer, I'll tell you. Wow.
Here's another way to look at it. Look over on the right lane there.
See the left side just kind of mixing the cylinders up right there, and it just obviously right at this point it misfires in the manifold, and all that fuel and air in there just lit up and knocked the supercharger and pretty much most of the engine right out of the frame rails. Let's take a listen at this thing and see what or hear what we can tell.
Boy. Big noise there. Well, now they've got a little bit of a cleanup to do. I want to go back, though, if we can, Mike, and take a look at that shot from the starting line, because we got focused on Urbacher, but look at Larry Dixon. We've seen other cars do this weekend, too.
Yeah, you know, Larry Dixon, that left-hand lane, it wants to drive the cars over towards the center line, and you can see Larry got way out of the groove there. It made a pretty hard move over towards there. Larry, the veteran, kept the thing off of the center line, but take another look at it, because what happens here, I think the car wanted to move over towards the wall a little bit. Larry made the correction, and then it wanted to drive the car across the lane. By the time he brings it around, it gets that right tire out of the groove, and then that wants to push it over even more, but Larry still does a good job to get the win, and boy, look at the carnage off of Urs Urbacher's car right there. Wow.
Watch the motor as we look at it again. Look at the parts everywhere, but keep an eye now just on the motor right behind Urbacher.
Yeah, thing just kind of lays over the left side of the car. You know, it looked like it's the entire top of the engine. You know, and it's a situation we talked. It could have, you know, probably fired all the fuel in the manifold. But what could possibly have caused that is if the crankshaft breaks. If the crankshaft breaks, the thing goes out of time and then fires all of that fuel in the manifold. And or if the camshaft. What happens if the camshaft and the crankshaft become separated through breakage either way, then that will cause a major explosion like that. Because I had one back in 1983.
Yeah, and that happened just before the 1,000-foot finish. So we look at the Lucas Oil photo finish cam streaming parachutes and flames across the line. Well, when we come back, we'll check in, make sure that Urs is okay, though we saw him and we see him now as he appears to be fine. Gary Gerald running there, and maybe we'll get the update on that very loud noise here at Houston. He launched.